Vampire Slayer is one of the most tricky bosses to do when you are just getting into it. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to consistently do Tier 4 Vampire Slayers, since Tier 5s are less efficient for XP, and you can do Tier 4s a lot faster while still getting all the good drops. This is all the gear you need. For the armor, you're going to want to have a Mythic Anti-Bite Scarf, an orange chestplate, a Legs of the Coven, and a Snake in a Boot. For the weapon and utilities, you need a Silver Twist Karambot, Holy Ice, a Luscious Healing Melon, and a Stake. While some of this gear might be a bit tedious to get, it is overall worth it because it will increase your boss times and survivability significantly. Let's move on to the boss now. It's very important to note that throughout the duration of the entire boss fight, you'll take 100 damage per second, so it's really crucial that you are on top of your healing because it's really easy to die if you're not paying attention. Also, I highly recommend the use of mods such as Skytills that make seeing all the abilities and attacks of the boss a lot easier. As soon as you spawn the boss will be in its first main phase. During this phase, the boss can use two abilities, Spectral Form and Twin Claws. Spectral Form is when the boss basically just turns into a bat and flies around for a second before reappearing. Twin Claws is when every 7 seconds, the boss will launch two giant claws from both the front and behind itself that each deal 6 hearts of damage. The best method to deal with Twin Claws is to use a Holy Ice right before the boss releases the claws, because it reduces your damage taken by 80% for 1.5 seconds. Once you get the boss low enough, it'll go into its first mania phase. During this phase, the boss is invincible, so your main priority is just surviving. The boss will remain stationary and spawn a bunch of rings around it that either have red or green blocks. Each time you're not standing on a green block, you'll take 6 stars of damage, so you want to get to the green blocks as fast as possible. The boss also has a really annoying impel ability during this phase. The impel ability basically makes it so the boss will sometimes tell you to do a certain action that's listed on the screen. If you don't do it within 2 seconds, you take 5 hearts of damage. Luckily, these actions are really simple, like jump or crouch for instance, but they can be quite a nuisance. Finally, the boss will also keep eating its twin claws at you, in which case you once again keep using Holy Ice. Keeping track of all the different tasks you need to do during this phase can be a bit overwhelming when you first start, but eventually it'll get easier the more bosses you do. After the mania phase, the boss will once again go into another main phase, which is the same as the first, except it has one new ability called Stone Wrath, that's separated into 2 parts. The boss will first spawn 3 clock whales, which will each take 1 heart away from you when they are alive, so you want to kill them as soon as possible. After you kill the clock whales, the boss will then fly up in the air and just start exploding things at your location. What you want to do is just run until the boss comes back down, but keep damaging it until it goes into its second mania phase. The second mania phase is the exact same as the first mania phase, so you shouldn't have any trouble here. After the second mania phase, the boss will go into its final maze phase. There's one new ability in this phase called Killer Spring, where the boss basically just throws a tower of springs at a nearby location that you have to deactivate by spamming right and left click at it. You do have to be a little careful, since if you don't deactivate it within 15 seconds of it being down, then you just die. However, you should only have to deactivate it once, since once the vampire boss gets down to 20% health, you can just stake it and it instantly dies. If you are confused about any of this, here's raw gameplay of me killing a tier 4 that provides all the information above into context. I hope you gained something out of this tier 4 vampire guide. That's gonna be all for me for today. See ya.